Hello everybody, it is Monday, December 15th, 2014. I am Maria Vox and this is the Vox Box with a news cap. Earlier today in Sydney, Australia, the Martin Place Lindt Cafe and at least 30 employees and customers were taken hostage by two unknown people claiming to represent the Islamic terror group ISIS. Not long after claiming the cafe, some of the hostages were forced to hold a large Islamic flag to the store's window. Since this all began, approximately 13 prisoners have been released, yet the story is ongoing. At this point, this is not being looked at as an act of terror, and demands have yet to be made. This event brings to mind the beheading death of a Moore, Oklahoma grandmother earlier this year on September 25th. Miss Colleen Hufford was at her place of work when she was attacked and killed by an ex-employee. Her attacker, Alton Nolan, a professed Muslim, was said to have been ranting about Allah and his faith as he beheaded Miss Hufford and attacked other employees, before being shot by an armed fellow worker who thankfully was licensed for concealed carry. Oddly enough, Colleen's death was also cleared of having been an act of terror and in the end was labeled as simply being workplace violence. So, if what happened to Miss Hufford back in September and the events in Sydney today were not acts of terror carried out by terrorists, yet the people who convene to practice their rights and stand up for the truth and the Constitution are declared national terrorists. I can't speak for everyone, but this seems to me just that there's something wrong with this picture. All said, the attack having been located on a chocolate cafe, as well as there being hostage left alive, never mind having been released, which is something ISIS rarely does, leaves me to believe that what we are seeing in Sydney is yet another white flag event. What is a white flag event, you might ask? Well, a white flag is an event carefully designed by highly paid experts in tactics, psychology, and strategic planning designed to orchestrate a mass social reaction in the user's favor. Tactics like these were designed and meant to be used in situations of wars against enemies, but have since turned into the world government's most favored way of getting us, the population, to do exactly what they want. Why, even Prime Minister Tony Abbott admitted that the events of today in Sydney were no more than politically motivated violence designed to scare people. 9 times out of 10, their goals are either to get us to fear making our own decisions or to get us to look the other way while they pull yet another fast one on us. But to do that, they have to get our attention, and despite how connected we seem to think we are today, it's not as easy as it sounds. We have had our ability to feel slowly poisoned out of us, and have become so numb that it takes real blood and suffering to get people to take notice. They know what it takes to press all of our psychological buttons, and are doing so in many ways. So, if this was indeed a white flag, then the correct question would be why? What is happening in Australia today that is so important that it merited this kind of a distraction? I only guess that time will tell, and we will be watching. This all leaves one to wonder what, if anything, is being done about this creeping virus of death and hate that is ISIS. I, for one, think that it's time we actually use the rights our forefathers bled for. We have become a soft people who have forgotten that the true price of freedom was paid for by the blood of those who fought and died, so that the children of tomorrow might live freely. Do yourself a favor and read who your government want you to believe are terrorists. And I ask you to read the Constitution if you have not yet. It is the recipe for freedom and worth every drop of blood that went into its creation. Don't be afraid to stand for a cause that's bigger than yourself. If it is true and just, You'll never stand alone. This is Maria Vox with the Vox Box signing out. Wake up, wise up, rise up.